Trying to ruin because
Okay, so as you
sucks
guys
at
can see,
drawing
I'm
circles.
at Home Depot. And the reason I'm here to get plants is because I saw a comment from one of you guys saying you got 20 plants for $30. And that's a pretty good deal. I mean, it's probably a typo or something, but let's just go see if Home Depot has any good deals on plants. So I made my way over to the garden section, expecting there to be a ton of plants. But when I got there was literally nothing. Bro, there is not a single plant in sight. What is this? But apparently, because it was winter, I just moved most of the plants inside because I ended up finding this little collection of plants. Dang, look at all these succulents. Wait, this is actually exactly what I need. Okay, let me just pick out a few of these. And of course, some cactuses like down here, or cacti. I don't know how to say it plural. So I picked out a nice selection, and while I didn't get as good of a deal as that comment said, it still only cost like $20 for all these plants, which is pretty good. Anyways, to plant these desert plants, I shook off all the excess dirt and planted just the roots in the sand. And in no time, it was done. But the final step to finishing the cactus home is insects. And I've got two different species of insects I want to put in here. First of all, you already know, I've got springtails, the extremely tiny white creepy bug things. And there's just like 1,000 of them in here. All these tiny little white things moving, those are all springtails. But these are extra important in a desert enclosure like this, because every now and then I'm gonna have to go and spray each of the plants down and water them, and the springtails will make sure to eat up any extra mold that goes because all. Are you still hungry? Yeah, they're pretty useful. Let's just dump these guys in here. Yeah, I told Mom. Good. And second of all, I've got these things, which are mealworms. But the real reason why I'm gonna put these guys in the enclosure is because I'm kind of interested to see if the cow killer is gonna go and just sting them. To be honest, I don't really know if the cow killer eats insects like this, but I guess I'm gonna figure out with you guys once we put them in here. Well, this desert enclosure is now complete, and that means I gotta get the pet cow killer. Yeah, I don't even know why I get pets like this. Well, guys, it took a long time for this to get delivered, and I don't even know why it says live fish if there's a cow killer in here. But anyways, I guess it's time to bring this thing inside, exactly what a pet cow killer is like, and of course, let it crawl on my arm. I know I keep bringing this up, but seriously, if I get stung by this thing, I'm going to be in this much pain. Like, just look at this guy's face. I just don't want to do that, but anyways, let's just go inside and open this. So I cut the tape and got the container out that supposedly the bug was inside. Okay, so this is not so promising. It's just a clear plastic container with a paper towel. Well, I guess let me just carefully take the lid off and, okay, please, hopefully nothing jumps out at me. I very carefully used some tweezers to move the paper towel into another container. And then I carefully moved around that paper towel to try and reveal the cow killer. Oh, I think I see it in there. Wait, do you see that? Hold on, look at this. Oh, that's the cow killer. This may not look like it, but this thing right here is one of the most painful stinging insects. They're not even insects, just animals in the entire world. But I couldn't just move it straight inside the enclosure because first I had to build the rest of it on so it wouldn't be able to escape. Because if it did, that would be really bad. Okay, well it's right here, so I'm just gonna risk it for the biscuit and pick it up super carefully. And drop it. Okay, you're in your new home. Enjoy it. Soon enough, the bug crawled out of its paper towel and started to explore around his new home. But considering the cow killer spent the last week in that shipping box, it's probably pretty hungry. So I wanted to get it fed right away. And when you search it on Google, it says the cow killers like to eat nectar, larvae, and adult insects. So I think first I'm going to feed them some of this insect jelly food, which I usually feed to like crickets. But basically, it should replicate the nectar that they find in flowers in the wild. So I opened up the pack of jelly and put it in the cow killer. Within about a minute, it must have picked up the scent because it crawled right up to it and just stayed there looking like it was eating it. Yo, look at the cow killer. I just put its face straight up to the jelly and it's just devouring it, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, he really just sat there for 20 whole minutes eating it, and I eventually just took the jelly away from him because I didn't want him to eat too much. Anyways, I want to see if this cow killer is going to eat the
Bro, those things have a better diet than I do.
One of the things it said it wouldn't eat is adult insects, and if you remember, I didn't put mealworms in here. Let me see if I can find one. Here we go. There's just a mealworm in the sand right there. But I just want to bring this right over to the cow killer and see if it reacts if I just drop it right next to it. Let's see what happens here. Now, right away, the cow killer noticed the mealworm and went straight up to it. But while it even started to crawl on top of the mealworm, it didn't really seem to care at all that it was there. In fact, it kind of just put its mouth on the sand where the insect jelly was just sitting to try and suck up any of the last sugar that was there. So yeah, I guess they don't really eat insects.
They eat sugar.
Alright, so nighttime.
Time to do this scheme, bro. I hated him until last time. I hated him yesterday because he hurt Nova Frost, but now I'm just loving him again. Guys, I'm obsessed. Help! I need help.
Creature bug thing, and it's called a cow killer because they say its sting is painful enough to be able to kill a literal cow.
Nice.
Yeah, so basically, the reason I brought you in today is because I just want you to film me, basically letting it crawl on me, because I was just thinking, you know, like I just want to bond with it.
That sounds good.
It would probably be like a. I should have. It should be an eclipse, not gonna lie, because he's obsessed with eclipse. Guys, I'm sorry. I ship it.
Dropped it, but eventually I picked it up again and put it inside of the container. Okay, you got a good
Kiss
shot.
me, kiss me, kiss me again.
I don't want to get it mad when it crawls out. I just want to let it crawl out itself.
And this will kill a cow.
Well, yeah, that's what they say, but I don't think I actually can. All I know is it's painful. It didn't take long until the cow killer got to the edge of the container and then stepped onto my arm. Now we just hope and pray this doesn't sting me. So I don't want to make any sudden movements, then it's going to know I'm bad and it's going to try to sting me. Now I had to let it stay on me for at least a minute. So in the meantime, I just tried to talk with my mom to distract me.
What is the purpose of this? You want to bond with your pet?
Yeah, because everyone bonds with their dog and stuff. I just want to bond with but you see how the sting is just like crawling along me? It could accidentally sting me at any moment. At this point, it started to look more aggravated, and as soon as the timer hit 60 seconds, I put the container in front of it, hoping it would crawl in. But it ended up crawling around it onto the side of my arm, where it eventually fell off onto the table. So I quickly scooped it up back into its container. We got it. That was actually really nerve-wracking. I don't know if I was saying a lot. I was actually like, my heart was pounding like 200 beats a second. But now I can say I've been bonding with a cow killer.
What are you going to name
The
it?
cow killer.
The cow killer.
Cool. I'm very happy I didn't get stung by that. But let me tell you, a little while after that video was posted, I came across this tank. Today, I found a listing of a pet snake's home. When I clicked on it, I saw a pretty trash enclosure with paper towels as the floor, dirt all over the glass, and none of the stuff a snake would actually need. Hey, $55. It's honestly not that bad of a deal. Let's go save this snake. So I drove up to the seller and bought the tank for $55. Okay, I just got this in my car, and I've got to take this home quickly to make sure
Bro
the
would
snake
actually
inside is
wear
healthy. And if it is, I'm
eyeshadow,
going to
bro.
revamp
Where's
this
makeup?
trash into a dream home to give the snake inside his best life. I've got no time to waste. Let's go. After getting it home, the first step was to, of course, remove the snake from the enclosure. So I have this tool to grab it. I really hope the snake in there isn't venomous. I have to be super careful. I obviously didn't want to get my hands anywhere near this enclosure, so the snake could be anywhere. So I used the tool to try and take out as many of the objects as I could. And it didn't take long until when I moved this piece of paper towel, I saw a glimpse of the snake under it. Thankfully, after seeing it move, it looked like it was still in good health. So I picked it up to take a closer inspection. Okay, come on, snake. Let me get you in this temporary tank real quick. And after comparing the colors and pattern of the snake to a bunch of different species, I think I found out exactly what species it was. Okay, check this out. This is called a Kenyan sand boa, and this looks exactly like the one I got. Okay, if this is actually a Kenyan sand boa, that means it's not venomous, and I should actually be able to just go and pick it up. Are you gonna bite me? Now, at first, I was pretty scared to pick it up, but then I realized it was actually super chill and friendly and wouldn't bite me at all. Oh, look at this. Okay, from what I know, this species is actually a super good pet. So this is gonna be awesome. But the main reason I was so excited about this species is because they have this special ability to curl themselves in the floor and pop out to strike prey when it walks by. And yeah, I'm gonna get to watch that happen. It's so cool. Anyways, first, to start this enclosure transformation process, step number 1 is to take out the ugly remaining decorations. Okay, I have no idea why there's all this random stuff in here, like a giant fake plant. This is not at all what sand boas need. So of course I cleared all of that up and threw it straight
oh my
into
gosh,
the
sorry
garbage
guys.
bin where it belongs. Then that leaves us with this. This
Ruin
is so
needs
bad.
his
There's just paper towels at the floor and a
eyeliner, or
random
whatever you
pile
wanna
of
call it.
dirt. Yeah, sand boas need
No,
at
the
least
eyebrow
a couple
thing.
inches
Eyebrows.
of substrate for the floor so they can go in it and burrow. So this is definitely not good enough. Yeah, let's get this out of here.
Makeup was
Why is there
ruined.
random, like red stains on this. Yeah, after taking the remaining dirt
Okay, that's
out,
better.
I had to finally get
Time to
out
do
a
his
little razor
eyeliner.
and scrape off all these little piles of glue and dirt off the wall. I have no idea why they were there, but they're ugly, so they gotta go. Well, we're back to adjust the tank now, and this is where things get fun. You see the patience like dirt. Alright, this background's looking pretty nice and foresty, but for step 2 of making this a dream home is to put the floor and decorations in. Basically what I've built here will allow water to pass through just like that, but not dirt. Essentially creating a drainage layer in here which will stop mold from growing. So yeah, that's pretty good. Now for the mix that goes on top, we're only going to use a little bit of sand. You see, despite being called a sand boa, it's actually better for the species to have this wood chip stuff called cypress bedding make up most of the floor. But I also mixed in some other brown foresty stuff to make it a little bit softer. Finally, I poured a few inches of that inside and covered it in a thin layer of just dirt to make it less ugly. Now for the decorations, and as you can see, I got a ton of stuff, but I want to make this interesting to watch, so start with the super cool, epic building decoration montage. Let's go.
I want to put him in a dress. I want to put Ruin into a dress. Guys, I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But now
I'm
you're
doing it.
noticing that the left and right sides of the enclosure are looking pretty barren and empty. Well, that's because step number 3 is to put DIY decorations there. First up, the left side. Here, I want to build a giant, massive tree trunk that looks like it has leaves and stuff coming off of it. And to do that, I went and gathered all the wood I had in my house into a big container so I can easily access it. This is all just leftover wood from previous videos. Yeah, sometimes I buy a little bit too much, but today it's going to have a use. Now, I didn't have much of an idea of how I would do this, but I figured I would just start by using spray foam to connect little pieces of the wood together, and then I continued to stack the wood up
We're gonna be
like
wearing
the trunk of the tree, and then I stuck some branches onto it. Alright, this is a little bit looking like a tree trunk. I still gotta go and cover this exposed spray foam, but for now, check this out. It's just a bunch of carpet moss. I'm basically just gonna attach it to the tree, so it looks like there's a bunch of leaves coming off of it. Should look pretty good. Let's do that. And so using my hot glue gun, that's exactly what I did. After putting the moss all over it, I covered most of the exposed spray foam with some dirt, and then glued a couple actual leaves hanging from the tree. Alright, this looks just like a tree, and we're done. Oh. Yeah. Anyways, that means we can move to the right side DIY decoration. To start that, I've got the base right here. This is a normal cave decoration that you can buy for snakes to hide in. But I ended up getting out some real rocks and using more spray foam to attach them all around the cave. You know, I didn't want it to just look like a normal boring decoration that I bought, so yeah, this made it look nice and natural. Alright, there we go. Nice little rock cave, and as you can see, it's pretty deep and dark in there. So let me see that on my clock. Got the light on, and look at that. You can just see down in there. It's nice and pretty cozy. I bet this thing's gonna like to go and hide in there. But now for the final step to finishing this foresty dream home is to get some plants.
Coffee and peace.
I don't have any plants, so let's go to the
Because I suck at redrawing
Okay, I'm
things.
at the plant store, and as you can see, they got a nice, beautiful selection here. But I actually just need to pick out like the smallest ones I could find. Okay, here's
don't
the
mind me.
small section.
Just
Let me
shrinking
pick out
this a
some
little
of this
bit so
grass
he looks
stuff.
better.
Ooh, I'm gonna get this little one here, and oh man, I was just gonna get 2, but I'm just gonna let myself go crazy. Let's get this one too. After driving home, I got the plants out and put them around
Just
in the
like crazy
enclosure. But after doing that, I still felt like there wasn't enough greenery, so I got some of the carpet moss from earlier and scattered that around too. Alright, and now to finish this off, I just want to put a nice bulb right there. I'm going to put a UVB bulb right next to it, and as you can see, it looks pretty good. Got those going. As you can see on the basking spot under the heat lamp, it was a nice 90 degrees. And over in the cooler side of the enclosure, it was about 75 degrees, which is perfect for the snake, so it can decide how hot or cold it wants to be. Well, anyways, this enclosure has been completely transformed from that pretty trash home into a chunk of nature that I think the snake is going to enjoy a lot. Alright, well, I guess let me just take these paper towels out. I've just been keeping the Kenyan sand boa in this temporary enclosure, and oh, look at you. Alright, so I'm just going to go and pick them up just like this, and welcome to your new home, boy. I hope you like it. Oh, hey, just already going straight to the dirt. Right, I guess I'll see you later, man. Yeah, when I said these guys like to burrow on the floor, I really meant it. I don't know how long it's been since this guy's had the chance to be able to do it, but you can tell he was loving it. Bro, I don't even know where the snake went. Oh, wait, I can see its tail right there. But other than that, it's completely just disappeared. But if you look closely in this footage, you can see the dirt slightly moving around from where this guy was digging underground. Well, I want to get this guy fed right away, since I don't know when he last ate. But yeah, I don't have any mice right now to feed it, so I gotta go to the store to go buy them. Alright, I'm at Petco right now, and let me just find the frozen mice section. Okay, here they are. As you can see, they got all these just in little bags, like this small rat. Since my sample is kind of small, let's just get some of these super small fuzzy mice, which are like the size of my thumb. Okay, let me get like 3 of these.
When I got home, I let water run over one of the frozen mice to thaw it out, and once it was thawed, I took it out the package to feed to the snake.
Alright, well, I got the mouse, grabbed it by the tail with some tweezers, and let's just see if the snake can go
Let's
in
color.
here.
The snake was somewhere burrowed in the floor, so I just laid the mouse on top and
Wee,
waited
wee,
about
wee,
10 minutes
wee,
to see if
wee.
maybe it would pick
It's
up the
gonna
scent or something and eat.
like
But after 10 minutes, I saw literally
a
nothing.
whitish.
Okay, well, clearly having the mouse just stay still
Like
doesn't
that.
work, and so I'm gonna pick it up
If
by
that
the tail again.
works.
I'm gonna start shaking it up and down.
Oh, you can actually see it like that.
Which will set off the snake.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. I got it correct. Da, da, da,
So I did that for
da.
about 5 minutes, and unfortunately, not even that worked. But I think I knew why the snake wasn't coming to eat. So to fix the problem, I drove.
Let me
to
just make his
Mexico
eye
again, and
red
this time
because
came
it's
home with
red
a way
and he's
smaller
pretty.
mouse. So I did that same thing with the smaller mouse and wiggled it above right where the
I'm
snake was,
sipping.
and immediately this happened.
Oh, yo, it just ate it. Okay. I was trying to do that for a while, but look at that. That was so cool. It just popped up out of the dirt, and oh man, imagine being a live mouse and you have to deal with that.
And this it didn't take long for the snake to start expanding its mouth so it can completely engulf the mouse.
Yo, look at this snake, bro. He is just going crazy. I can't even film this. His body's just wrapped around the mouth. You can see his mouth. Oh my god, that is so cool to watch.
You see, because this is a boa, they wrap around their prey to constrict it. Even though it is a little disgusting, it's one of the coolest things to watch in all of nature. That was a sick transformation for that snake, and now let's get back to some weird pets. And next up is a black widow. This was one of my coolest videos. I just found this video where a guy named Coyote Peterson lets a black widow crawl all over his arm. Watching this made me think that maybe black widows weren't as vicious as I thought, and maybe I could keep one as a pet. And so I found a random sketchy
Bro, you
website
shouldn't
that'll
think
sell
that.
them just that. Why do they even sell these as pets, bro? I don't know. Let me just add this to the cart.
And thanks to the one-day delivery, literally the next day, I opened up my door to the package.
Okay, there we go. I guess this should be the black widow. And I genuinely think this is the most venomous pet I've kept on the channel. But anyways, let's go open this up.
So I brought it to my table and opened the package up. After carefully taking out the packing material, I then took out a container that had a black widow spider inside.
Oh, nah, here it is. A literal black widow. But I did
Bro would have
figure something out
like a
because apparently
this
I
type of
ordered
color
one.
dress.
If you
Bro,
look
it's
down at this
true.
box,
Don't blame
I
me.
actually ordered two.
Don't blame me for telling me
apparently I
to.
accidentally placed the order for a 3-pack, so now I have 3 black widows.
Boop.
But I wanted to take a closer look, so I opened up a container to let a spider out. And I guess it was a bit busy because instantly it fell on its back to reveal that iconic red hourglass shape, which warns you that this spider is nothing to mess around with. It has a potent bite.
Oh, shoot, it's trying to escape. Put it in the container. Okay. Whew. I have to be more careful with these things, man.
But these 3 spiders aren't going to spin webs in these tiny containers. They were going to need a proper enclosure, which I needed to fill by first covering a bunch of spray foam with dirt and wood chip stuff to make the background. But in the middle, I put in this rock background and spray foamed normal rocks to it. You see, I'm going to separate the enclosure into a forest, a cave, and a home interior to see where black widows like to make webs and hunt the most. For the home interior part, I got a piece of styrofoam and painted a brick pattern onto it, you know, to make it look like a brick wall, like a lot of homes have. And so I spray foamed that in, and the background was now complete.
And now we gotta do the web building basics. Basically, what that means is we just put sticks and stuff so the spiders can spin their webs in.
To start, I'm gonna lay
I need to make an edit of this,
across
bro.
the entire
Oh yeah,
enclosure, but I'll be able
forgot to add
customize
a
each
tail
environment.
because he's
But
sick,
first of all,
bro.
the forest, and as I'm sure you can imagine, we're gonna put some wood in here, just enough on the 2 sides for a solid web to be made in between. And then I'm even gonna glue some moss coming down from the ends of the branches so it sort of looks like leaves on a tree.
And then I'm gonna get this bag of leaves that I bought. And don't ask me why I didn't just pick
Oh my.
them up from outside. I don't
Boom.
know why I bought these.
But anyways, with those, I scattered them along the bottom, so it looked like a forest floor with all the fallen leaves everywhere. And last but not least, I got some tiny rocks and scattered them around too. Just a few, because I gotta save most for the cave.
Okay,
And speaking of the
final
cave, we're gonna start
results.
right away by laying...
Down, 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 down. Stop. Down, down. What do you mean, what is that? That's rude. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. Don't be rude.
Juice.
No, that's Drew's my cookie right
Just another way we keep you a
Oh.
step ahead.
It's Ruru.
Looking for
His real name is
better
Ruin.
laundry?
Everyone has a hero, Drew. Hero people. Guys, I'm gonna beat up my sister. Time to beat her up. Bye, guys.